From fans hating her attempt to gain clout from Wyndham Clark's US Open win, to her getting blocked by golfers on social media, here's why Paige Spiranic's career is finally over. She's beauty, and she's grace, but more importantly, she has controversy written on her face. Paige is one of the most divisive figures in golf because while she's funny and has done a lot for the women's game, a lot of people don't like her at all. And sure, some of them just hate her for being too bold or making money through her social media following, but there are genuine reasons why she's not the greatest person in the world, and it looks like after getting involved in a billion feuds and controversies, her time in the limelight is over. People were already sick of her trying to make everything about herself, and her comments about Wyndham Clark proved to be the last straw. The US Open was a big moment for the PGA Tour star. He came into the major with only a single professional win, and sure, his form was great, but no one was expecting him to win a major. So when he finally beat Rory McIlroy by a single stroke, everyone went crazy. Because if there's one thing that fans love in sports, it's an underdog story. Paige also chimed in with her opinion, as she always does, but rather than simply congratulating the dude and saying how great he was, she rammed herself into the conversation. Yep, Paige said that she and Clark grew up playing junior golf together in Colorado, and that she always knew he had something special and he'd make it. So now that he's a major winner, it's a very cool moment. I mean, even if she wanted to claim she knew the guy, she could have said it after congratulating him. But again, she's the queen of marketing, so she knew she could squeeze some more clout out of this situation. And well, fans were not happy. One guy chimed in with a meme that said, "It's not about you, but you get in there and make it about you," while another Twitter user criticized her for jumping on the bandwagon. After all, Paige never even mentioned Clark before he won a major and became a star, and she probably would have never made the post if he hadn't won. But she's not someone who sits down and takes criticism like that, so she decided to fight back against the haters. Paige said that she was just adding a personal note, just to show how cool it is to see someone be successful at every step of their career. She just wanted to highlight that Clark was a standout player even when he was 13, which made his win all the more special in her eyes. But again, fans are tired of hearing her justifications at this point, cause she's clearly trying to siphon some clout off the guy's win and improve her brand even more. In fact, that's another one of the reasons why people don't like her anymore. She's just way too worried about her influencer side rather than the sport itself. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she doesn't post good golf opinions, because she definitely does. Golf fans just think that most of her posts have some hidden motive, either to gain followers or to cause some controversy, and props to her for being a brilliant businesswoman and getting the bag, but unfortunately, that's not what the fans want. She is always promoting some brand or making personal comments about a golfer. I mean, remember when Phil Mickelson criticized Sam Ryder for wearing trousers that were too short? He said the guy was showing 4 inches of ankle. After which, Paige joined in on the conversation and said she feels sorry for Phil's wife if he thinks that's 4 inches. Sure, it's a great joke, but golf fans think she sometimes crosses the line, especially when she's not even playing professional golf anymore. Spiranic's pro career was sadly cut short because she couldn't make it to the LPGA Tour. Besides, she had this massive social media presence, so she didn't need to continue playing anyway. That said, a lot of her fans think her opinion on the sport shouldn't matter much, all because she could never make it herself. They say she's an outsider since she prioritized her influencer career over the sport, and she tries to act like this know-it-all, when she's no better than an average Twitter guy airing his opinions. Let's be fair for a sec though. Paige is more qualified than most other fans on social media. She says people just hate her because she's a woman who's built a successful brand. Because even if she posts the exact same opinion as a golf analyst on TV, she's gonna get flamed for it, and she's not wrong. In fact, being unapologetically herself has become her brand over the years. Paige says she's never wanted to be an influencer, but now she's become so influential her haters can't ignore her. She thrives off controversy and says her career has become a big FU to everyone. Paige thinks it's powerful to walk into a room knowing the effect she has on people and the brand she's built, because even though she's one of the most hated figures in the sport, a lot of people still love her. I mean, even with the Wyndham Clark saga, Paige quickly recovered by posting a photo with Bob Does Sports, which is a group of 4 dudes who go on some fun and dumb sports adventures. Fans absolutely loved the fact that Paige was hanging out with them, and the replies were full of people calling her photo awesome, so not everyone hates Paige. But that's the tug of war you get with her, because sometimes she posts some great stuff, while other times it's so controversial that it goes viral. Then again, that's exactly how she built her brand. And at this point, no one should be surprised by a controversial take from her. In fact, she even says that her online persona is exaggerated, and all she wants is for people to have a bit of fun. After all, golf can be a miserable sport sometimes, especially since it's not very accessible to a lot of people anyway. But the issue is that it's not just the fans who dislike her. Other golfers also hate Paige Spiranic. You see, one of the biggest reasons why she had to quit professional golf was that she couldn't fit in. She felt like an outsider in the women's game because they thought her bold social media presence was ruining their reputation. Paige posts a lot of lewd photos and videos on her social media, and golfers think that's allowing people to sexualize female golfers. That said, a lot of people also think that it's unfair to blame Paige for that, because the thing is, she's not doing anything illegal, and her social media presence shouldn't affect the state of women's golf. Besides, Spiranic says she's sick and tired of seeing people take on this moral high ground and put her down for doing her thing. Because the reality is, they're usually the ones consuming her content, meaning they are nothing but hypocrites. In fact, she says that she goes out of her way to spite the haters now because she's rebellious, and if you tell her she can't do something, she's gonna do it 10 times more. Her whole business is about pushing the boundaries just to prove a point, which is why most of her debates online are about what you can and can't wear on a golf course. Though while a lot of people do applaud her for trying to break the status quo, she does sometimes take things too far, especially when it comes to her feuds with real golfers. People think her cracking jokes on social media or airing her opinions is fine, but there are times when she has a back and forth with another pro golfer, and usually those exchanges don't go very well. Over the years, Paige has managed to get into the bad books of a lot of PGA Tour pros, all because of her hot takes on Twitter. In fact, Phil Mickelson has her blocked, and other golfers have just stopped paying heed to her. Seriously, she's got a tendency to tag PGA Tour pros in her tweets while voicing her opinion, and she rarely gets a reply in return. It's like she's talking to a brick wall, because golfers just don't care what she has to say anymore, and that, folks, is one of the biggest roadblocks for her career. You see, no matter how big of an influencer she becomes, people aren't gonna take her seriously unless she actually starts hanging out with the real stars. And sure, she's friends with a couple of them like Max Homa, but that's about it. It's a hard ceiling that she can't cross while she's poking fun at pros. And honestly, that could be the reason behind her eventual downfall. So there you have it, from her getting blocked by professional golfers on social media to fans hating her attempt to gain clout from Wyndham Clark's US Open win. That's why Paige Spiranic's career is finally over.